On my last trip to Taiwan, I went to a famous cafe in Taipei. I ordered a delicious cappuccino, about $6. Then I saw their specialty, cold brew, 1,200 NT dollars. That's $40 for one cup. I stared at it and thought, wow, Taiwan has gotten fancy. When I grew up in the 70s, coffee meant Folgers Instant with powdered creamer and sugar. Today, Taiwanese drink on average 200 cups of real coffee a year. But this isn't just about price or taste or even the beans. It's about how Taiwan reinvents itself, even after disaster. Hi, I'm Seriously, Taiwan Matters. I grew up in Taiwan, spent most of my life in the US, and now live in Europe with my family. These are my guinea pigs. They think anything brown and round is worth loving. When I was a kid, our luxury was a chain called 蜜蜂 Cafe or Bee Cafe. Plush seats, soft music, and the main attraction, a siphon coffee maker with 2 glass globes connected by a tube, bubbling away and filling the room with coffee aroma. A cup of coffee, in my memory, cost between 50 to 70 NT dollars. That's $2 to $3 in the late 70s. That was a lot of money. Pork chop rice was less than that. It was a status symbol during Taiwan's economic rise. Business meetings happened there. Friends lingered there. My mother took us maybe twice on special occasions. I probably just had dessert, but I felt so sophisticated. Fast forward to the 90s. Local brands like Dante, Ikari, and Mr. Brown Coffee popped up. Mr. Brown Coffee came in these tiny, sturdy cans you could probably survive a typhoon with. Pure sugar and caffeine. So good you usually couldn't stop at one. And he looked like a friendly Western merchant in a way that only made sense in the 80s. Convenience stores also started offering surprisingly good fresh coffee. Today you can get a great latte at 7-Eleven for what Bee Cafe charged 40 years ago. But in Taiwan, cafes aren't just about caffeine. They're extra living rooms in a country of small apartments with multiple generations living together. Teens can escape nagging parents for hours for the price of a latte. Friends can meet, gossip, and indulge without cooking or cleaning. Couples can keep dating interesting with a new themed cafe every weekend. Taiwan had the world's first cat cafe, Cat Flower Garden, opened in Taipei in 1998. Because if a cafe is your living room, why not share with 12 cats? Coffee is not grab and go like in the US or gulp it standing like in Italy. In Taiwan, coffee is self-care at a slow pace. And today, you can find endless tips online about awesome cafes in Taiwan, delicious for your eyes as well as for your palates. Cafes were booming in the 90s, but most beans were still imported. Then came an unexpected twist. It took a deadly disaster to bring local beans back to life. In 1999, Taiwan had a devastating earthquake called the 921. It hit mountain communities hard, causing landslides, stripping soil, and wrecking local economies. To restore both land and livelihoods, many farmers, especially in the indigenous areas, turned to coffee. It can be grown around betel nut trees, which provided shade for coffee, while the deep roots of the coffee plants helped hold the soil. Coffee wasn't new here. It was first brought to Taiwan by a British merchant named James Tate in the late 1800s, but it only expanded under Japanese rule with Hawaiian plants. By 1942, Taiwan had nearly 2 million trees, making it the coffee export capital of the Far East. After World War II, though, it faded as the island industrialized. Post-quake, independent farmers in regions like Alishan, Pingdong, Yunlin, and Tainan revived the crop, now with the precision of tea farming and modern tech, aiming for world-class quality, sustainability, and fair wages. One indigenous grower, for his dedication in growing coffee, even earned the nickname Coffee Prince, which sounds like a drama I'd totally binge. Today, 98% of Taiwan's coffee stays in Taiwan, sometimes sold by lottery at auction because there's not enough to go around. Even Louisa, the biggest coffee chain in Taiwan, reportedly serves local beans, though I was too busy with boba tea to check. Next trip, I will. Taiwan's coffee game is world-class from bean to brew. Local farms produce award-winning beans. Baristas like Berg Wu of Simple Kaffa won the very prestigious World Barista Championship in 2016. And Taiwanese tech companies design precision roasting and brewing machines used around the world. Put it all together and you've got a coffee ecosystem that's getting international attention and tasting pretty great too. Of course, it's not Taiwan if there aren't wacky flavors pushing the limits. taro latte, espresso, steamed milk, and sweet purple taro puree, like drinking dessert. Sweet osmanthus cold brew, coffee infused with fragrant golden blossoms you smell before you see. Salty egg yolk latte. Yes, really. Mostly in food blogs, but exactly the kind of experiment that could show up in a Taiwanese cafe. And of course, boba coffee, because chewy balls go with anything, maybe even Taiwan beer. From Mr. Brown to $40 cold brew, Taiwan's coffee has range. Spend some time exploring cafes when you're in town. And if you're lucky, you'll discover something you can't quite explain to your friends back home. Please subscribe and check out our other videos.